Have you ever used a business dashboard that felt, I don't know, magically fast? You click something and boom, the answer's right there. Well, that's not magic, that's dimensional modeling. It's this invisible architecture that takes these giant, messy mountains of data and turns them into clean, quick insights that actually help you make decisions. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and see exactly how it all works. Oh, you know the feeling, right? You're trying to pull a simple report on, say, last quarter sales, and you're just stuck, staring at that spinning wheel of death. That frustration? That's the exact problem dimensional modeling was invented to solve. So, to get the solution, we first have to understand that there are really two different worlds when it comes to data. In one world, you've got the systems that run the daily business. Think of a cash register or an ATM. They're called OLTP systems, and they are built to do one thing really well: write data, fast, one transaction at a time. But in the other world, you have systems built for analysis. We call these OLAP systems. Their job is to read huge amounts of data to help you see the big picture. And here's the key: you can't just use one for the other. Trying to run a big report on a transactional system would be painfully slow. So, how do we build a database that's actually designed for analysis? Well, it all comes down to two really simple but super powerful building blocks: facts and dimensions. This whole idea of using facts and dimensions has a name. It's called dimensional modeling. It was pioneered by this absolute legend in the data world, Ralph Kimball. And his big idea was pretty revolutionary at the time. Let's stop trying to use one-size-fits-all databases, and instead, let's structure our data specifically for fast, intuitive reporting. And just like that, it became the blueprint for all modern analytics. Probably the easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like a detective story, right? To solve any case, you really need two essential pieces of information. You need to know exactly what happened, and then you need all the context surrounding it. First up, you have the fact tables. This is the what happened. This is the cold, hard numerical evidence. The sales amount, the number of items sold, the total profit. These are the core measurements. You could say they're the indisputable numbers from the scene of the crime. But, numbers all by themselves are kind of useless. A sale of $100 doesn't tell you much. That's where dimension tables come in. These are the clues. They provide all that juicy context. They answer the who, what, where, and when. Who was the customer? What product did they buy? Which store was it? And when did it happen? The dimensions are what give meaning to the facts. Okay, so we have our building blocks. Now let's see how they fit together. The most common, the most popular, the most straightforward design is called the Star Schema. You can think of it as the go-to blueprint for most analytical needs. The Star Schema is built around one really elegant idea. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around the what happened. So, right there in the center of our universe, we place our fact table, holding all those crucial numbers. And then, shooting out directly from that center are all the dimension tables. Your customer table, your product table, your time table, they all connect directly to the facts. Each one is just a single step, a single hop away, forming this really clean, simple, you guessed it, star shape. And here's why that simple shape is so brilliant. Because there are so few connections, so few hoops for the database to jump through, queries are just incredibly fast. This simplicity and speed is exactly why the Star Schema is the absolute favorite for BI tools like Tableau or Power BI. It's literally built for speed. But what if your dimensions get really complicated? Like, what if your product dimension has its own hierarchy of categories and subcategories? Well, for situations like that, there's an alternative: the Snowflake Schema. It's more structured for sure, but it's also a bit more intricate. Now, the Snowflake Schema starts in the exact same place. You still have a fact table right there in the middle. The core numbers, the metrics, those don't change. The key difference, the thing that gives it its unique name, is what happens to those dimensions. Instead of having one big, all-encompassing dimension table, the Snowflake Schema breaks them down into smaller, related tables. This process is called normalization. So, for example, instead of one giant product table, you might have a table for the product itself, which then links out to a separate subcategory table, which then links to a category table. You get these branches off of branches, and all of a sudden, it starts to look less like a star and more like a complex, delicate snowflake. So what's the upside of all this complexity? Well, the main advantage is that you reduce a lot of repetitive data, and that can save you a good bit of storage space, which is great if you have a massive enterprise-level data warehouse. But, and this is a big but, the trade-off is performance. All those extra connections mean queries have to do a lot more work, which makes them slower and, honestly, a lot more complex to write. Okay, so we've got two powerful models on the table, the speedy star and the structured snowflake. How on earth do you decide which one to use? Well, let's put them head to head. So here it is, the final showdown. The star schema is what we call denormalized. It's a fancy way of saying it actually repeats information in its big dimension tables on purpose, all for the sake of speed and simplicity. The Snowflake schema does the exact opposite. It normalizes the data to save storage space, but the price you pay is slower, more complex queries. It really boils down to a classic trade-off. What do you care about more, speed or storage? So the big question becomes, what is your priority? Are you building a race car or a freight train? Let's break down how you make that call. Honestly, for about 90% of the analytics use cases out there, the answer is simple. Use a star schema. If speed is your number one priority, if your main goal is to power fast, interactive dashboards for business users, and if you just want something simple that works, star is your answer. It should almost always be your default choice. So, when would you ever choose Snowflake? Well, it's for very specific situations. Let's say you're building a massive, centralized enterprise warehouse where storage costs are a huge concern, and you've got these incredibly complex dimensions with many, many layers. In that case, the structural benefits of Snowflake might just outweigh the performance hit. And this isn't just some abstract theory either. Dimensional modeling is the engine running behind the scenes in pretty much every industry you can think of. Retailers use it to analyze sales, e-commerce sites use it to track customer behavior, healthcare systems use it for patient analysis. These schemas are turning data into decisions every single day. So here's the real takeaway. At the end of the day, data engineers are on a mission to make data ready for insights, and dimensional models are the absolute backbone of that mission. The next time you're using a dashboard and it feels fast, intuitive, almost effortless, you'll know why. It's not magic, it's a well-designed dimensional model, a powerful blueprint working perfectly behind the scenes.